Getting to know McHugh. Getting to know all about McHugh. Getting to like McHugh. Getting to hope McHugh likes me.
And me. And me.
Getting to know McHugh.
It still works. It still makes everybody happy. Collin, let's start right here as the Braves starting to move in the right direction. You were part of that work last night. We talked about what's going to happen for this team when the bats get going. In my opinion, I think we're now starting to see, as this team rounds into shape, now that we've seen 3 straight games with 10-plus hits, I think this offense is getting its act together along with what's going on with the pitching.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody's going to argue with 10 hits a night with this club, with the way we're able to pitch the ball and defend as well. So, yeah, it's been nice to see. I'm sure for the guys on the offensive side, it's been a welcomed relief.
What's it like coming in after Spencer Strider?
It feels like I'm a little leaguer a little bit.
But Collin, and this is not to be insulting, I thought it was the perfect situation where obviously he throws the way he throws. Now you're getting a change of pace of saying, all right, everything I'm going to be throwing is going to be moving all over the plate, and you got to deal with that for a couple of innings.
Yeah, I talked to him in the bullpen before. It was about the 4th inning or so, and we kind of looked at each other. We're like, "You and me today, right? We're gonna be the ones who are pitching today," and it ended up working that way. And you know what? I think we've got a nice little partnership.
Top Gun high five.
Yeah. Hey, here we go. There we go.
Okay, so I'm fairly interested with this Pitchcom thing. First, I'm just going to start. Are you using Pitchcom still, or did you stop using it?
I am using it. Yeah, it's still in my hat every time I go out there.
Okay, is it an earpiece? It's just in the hat.
It's like a little thin rubber essentially, it's like a little walkie-talkie that is thin, and it goes in the liner of your hat right over your ear, and it just talks just loud enough for you to hear it. And the catchers have a little actual earpiece that they can put in.
Okay, what do you like about it? Like, is it speeding up the game for you? Do you like to work fast? I'm very curious of all this because I didn't pitch. Los pitched. From a hitter standpoint, there was something about watching the pitcher shake off 2 signs, and I'm like, the hell does that mean? Why is he shaking off 2? Like, how does it work for you when you're with the catcher at that point then?
It just takes away some of the variables of having a guy on second base and having to switch up sign sets. And, at this point, I've been in the league long enough that teams kind of across the league know generally what signs I've used in the past because they can go back and you can analyze signs, after the fact. And most teams have somebody on staff who's kind of in charge of that. To know generally, all right, these are kind of the 3 sets that he typically uses with a guy on second. So if a guy's out there for more than 3 or 4 pitches, the chances of him being able to pick up on one of those sign sets is, it's not 0, and so this kind of eliminates that variable.
Does it also give location as well? So is it a female voice? Is it a male voice? What is the voice that's talking to you in your head?
I believe it's like a female robot voice.
So you can't get it to be like Shaq, like fastball outside corner.
That's what I was talking with some of the reporters the other day about maybe, I don't know what the technology looks like about being able to get like Pete Moylan in there.
Oh yeah.
Give me a slide away. And, I think it would just be fantastic.
Collin McHugh is our guest, Atlanta Braves pitcher, and I'll tell you this: whenever we've had Moylan on, he always curses. So if we can just avoid that, that'd be really, really good. Collin, it was part of the game broadcast last night over on Bally's. They were talking about how because you have that experience of starting and also coming out of the pen, that you've been a resource for a lot of the guys. Just go and talk to. What has that been like for you? Because obviously you've built this career where versatility is part of your availability and your ability.
Yeah, I think I have the set of experiences to kind of be able to relate to different guys in different roles, and we've got a lot of really talented young guys on the staff who, if they have a question or if we see something, me and Darren O'Day and Will Smith are kind of always talking in the bullpen about what we see with guys, and Darren's more like a savant at figuring out tips that guys might have, so he's always trying to kind of make sure the guys are aware of their routines and the things that they're doing, and just knowing what other teams are probably looking for. So, yeah, and in terms of just knowing day-to-day kind of what you need to be doing, I'm still learning what it's like in the bullpen. I've only been doing this for a few years down here, so I feel like a little bit of a rookie when it comes to that too. I'm still asking questions to those veteran guys as well.
Let me follow up with that because I'm just looking at the pitch count number and everything else, throwing, about 28 pitches last night. When you go out there and you throw a couple of innings worth, do you know pretty much the next morning saying, okay, I'm not going to be in there, or is this just get to the ballpark, see how I feel? If in case you need me, maybe I can get out there. How is that routine for you?
Yeah, the coaches do a pretty good job of kind of telling us what to expect the next day, or coming in, and if you're on the fence, they're immediately starting to communicate with you. How do you feel? Get out there and play some catch, move around a little bit. Tell me how you feel then, and it kind of becomes it becomes a group project at that point of who's available today, what do we need, and then play it by ear as the game goes on. We'll call audibles in the middle of the game and be like, hey, I know we said you're probably down today, but do you think you got an inning in you? Think you got a hitter in you? It's just really about this kind of open line of communication between the coaches and the staff who are making the decisions, and the guys in the pen who are just we're out there to pitch in whatever role and whatever innings it's kind of called upon us to do.
I'm not assuming you hear the noise, but I do think it's kind of frustrating when the general fan or fan on Twitter will say, well, why didn't we go to this player? Like, well, because the manager was well aware through the communication this guy's not available tonight. I think that's one of those deals that the fans are kind of left guessing on a regular basis, but you guys aren't. Y'all know exactly what's going on because you know about your body.
Yeah, and we know what's happened in the last. Fans tend to have a pretty short memory, which I'm a fan as well, and I understand that on a deep level. But when you're looking back over the last week and saying like, this guy might have not have thrown yesterday, but he's thrown 5 out of 7, and we know what we have. We have 10 games still in a row coming up, and we're going to need him to be at his peak availability for this game, for this lineup, for these hitters specifically. So. It's not a shoot from the hip situation here, guys. We have all the information, and the people making decisions, they know why they're doing it.
Atlanta Braves pitcher Collin McHugh is our guest right here on the Hobson Hobson Newsmaker Line on the Fan.
Okay, Collin, so a lot of people will go to Wikipedia when they're prepping and who I'm going to interview and everything else. I don't do that. I don't look up your stats or anything else. I just go to your Instagram and look at your pictures. And so I'm trying to figure out, so you're a musical guy, like your sister is a musician, is that correct?
Yeah, my sister and brother are both singer-songwriters in Nashville.
And okay, there you go.
That's cool.
And then I see a bunch of pictures of you with guitars in here. Does that mean you're a musician as well, or are you just an athlete that tries to be a musician?
I grew up playing music. I'm a 10-year veteran of the clarinet. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the instrument.
Hold on, Collin. Just so you know, there's no judgment here because Hoyt loves show tunes. I mean, you've heard your intro. He loves singing like that.
And Collin, by the way, I played a recorder when I was in 3rd grade. Dude, we're on the same page right now.
Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Bring the woodwinds back. It's what I've been saying it for years. But yeah, I played some guitar growing up. I played drums, kind of in a band in high school, and so yeah, it's kind of been part of my existence, but I consider myself the dumb jock of the family.
Okay, so what type of music are you into then? And I ask because between me and Los, we have 2 different musical styles. He's into douche music, which is like Ryan Adams and stuff.
I would like to go see a Radiohead concert right now.
That kind of stuff. And then me, on the other hand, I'm into more 90s pop. And I say this setting you up because I also see the first CD you ever bought was Hanson.
So I think I might be like the ideal love child between you two, which is I'm a douchey 90s pop guy, which is fantastic. I love all of it in like equal amounts. Like I love Radiohead with all of my heart. Like Kid A is probably like my favorite album of all time, but I also bought Hanson with like my own money as a 11-year-old. So I get all of that, and I was banging some tunes in the clubhouse the other day, and just some like 90s top 40, and I'm gonna be honest with you, it hits every time. It's so good.
Well, Collin, last thing from me as Collin McHugh, Braves pitcher, is our guest. I was thinking about this when I saw you on the mound last night, knowing you were going to be joining the show today. If you had to pick a piece of produce from like the public section to throw a strike with, what kind of piece of produce would you grab? If you need to throw a strike with one piece of produce, what would you grab?
I'm grabbing a lime. 100%. I'm grabbing a Persian lime. They're tiny, but they're kind of heavy. They're like pretty dense. I'm pretty sure I could whip that thing in there mid-80s without thinking twice about it.
Now, are you worried about the movement on it though? Because it's not a sphere. It's got those points on it, right, on the ends where the stems are. That you might get a little late movement on that.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I can lock into there and probably spin it all right. I think I could probably get some seam shifted weight movement on there. Yeah, I think we would be in good shape.
What would it take for us to get?
The hitters are going to have to use an English cucumber though to hit with.
Oh yeah, no, there's just going to be rules, okay?
He said to hit with.
We're not animals. I mean, that's how we're going to do. Collin, like I said, best of luck for this evening. Let's make this rain go away and make sure we get this game in on time. We'll talk to you next week.
I love where your head's at. Thanks, guys.
Not a problem. That's Collin McHugh, Braves reliever, starter, everything that you ever need. That's what Collin is able to